Morning, everyone. Welcome to another This Might Hurt. I actually was halfway through the recording and I purposely chose to stop it and start over because I was having the worst frog in my throat, and it was, I know it would have been annoying on the video, and I couldn't post it that way. I had been talking about synchronicities in the videos, and oddly enough, how Carrie did her video and then noticed it hadn't recorded, and then did the extended and the power went off and didn't save the recording. And she was talking about how the tower comes, right? And if you don't see it, you're not going to see it coming, right? But you can be better prepared for it. And I don't know, maybe it was just she inspired me by the being okay with the readings, but I literally stopped the video halfway through on my own. So anyway, go check out Carrie's Taurus reading if you happen to be a Taurus sun, moon, or rising. And it's on YouTube. I think she dropped it today. Scorched Earth Tarot, go check that out. And maybe there's something in there for you. But anyway, let's get the energies for today. Oh. Interesting how the cards were going to flip and then they didn't. And then I made the choice, right? Guys, you can make one, and Carrie was talking about this, so I'm going to steal from her, but you can make one tiny degree of change, and it can change, further down the line, the butterfly effect, right? It changes so much, right? Just one little tiny step off the path, and you're going a completely different direction. So we've got the Six of Wands, victory, and the Page of Swords in the reverse. So we got this in the upright yesterday, but something about the, that maybe feeling a little insecure about the power that you're carrying. I know. Okay. So this is kind of like that victory, right? So when I was listening to Carrie's Taurus reading, I'm going through a situation. Obviously, you guys, I share it with you, and I'm doing everything I can to be proactive about my situation, and but still at the same time, slow down and trust the universe. And you wonder often, or at least I wonder oftentimes, am I doing too much to control the outcome, or am I not doing enough? And I feel like that's what this is. Like, am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? The reading says to do this, but this astrology over there says to do that, and da-da-da-da. And at the end of the day, everything that happens is always in our best and highest good. Trust that. Trust that things are unfolding exactly the way they're supposed to unfold. And, whatever messages you get, readings you watch, astrology you subscribe to is just confirmation. Right? It's not the information, it's the confirmation, because you are the one who's getting the messages, whether or not you see them as such, whether or not you move through them in a way that's confident and victorious, or you move through them in a way that is questioning and troubled, right? But either way, you're moving through it. So it's kind of like if you get, I'm trying to think, like some sort of swimming metaphor, right? If you're swimming against the current, you might have to swim twice as hard for twice as long, but you still get to the same place, right? As someone who's coming downstream and just kind of floating on the river, you might both end up in the same place, right? And then I'm thinking now, just with that metaphor, moving against the current, are you moving backwards, right? Are you moving backwards? Ask yourself that. Next card out is the Ace of Wands, the new creative way of that burst of creativity. I hadn't thought about it this way before. And I like that the wands in here are trees and flowers, because we treat trees and flowers the way people should be treated. We don't judge them for their appearance. We don't judge them for their growth. We don't judge them for not thriving in an environment that's not conducive to their growth, right? We change the environment. We don't yell at the tree. We don't yell at the plant, right? We take care of it. We hold it. We honor it. We let it grow in its own right. I'm just noticing the wind farm down here. I don't think I ever noticed that before. The renewable energy, right? The renewable energy. The energy, the people around us that deplete us, or there's people around us that actually renew our energy. And I feel like this little tiny wind farm down here is behind all of it, right? There's that little tiny piece of renewable energy that is going to sustain this tree in what is seemingly a sea of desert and city behind it. Like, the environment doesn't necessarily look conducive to a forest here, but the powers that be, if you will, are going to nourish it and energize it and make sure that it grows. And it is going to be a one-handed situation, right? It's going to be, I'm going to have to give that energy. Who's going to give me the energy to give the tree? Something to think about. Next card out. Yep, still having throat chakra issues. I don't know what my deal is. Next card out, the Empress. Compassion, nurturing. I love the strawberries on this, and I love the fact that she doesn't look pregnant, because you don't have to look pregnant to be pregnant, right? Everything doesn't always have to look put together for you to be put together. Things will come together in their own time, and she will start to show her pregnancy when the time is right. She knows it. She doesn't need anybody else to know it. She has shown herself the grace and the compassion and the ability to grow in an environment that is conducive to her growth. She's not staying in those wastelands. And she's showing herself the grace and compassion that it takes to have that internal growth that we're wanting, right? So maybe a little bit of patience in this situation. Maybe not knowing that there's victory, right? Not necessarily having to have it all figured out. Something new will come in if you're open to it, if you're aware of it, if you're ready for it, and if you're renewed enough for it, and then let it grow. What is the advice for today? Advice is the Three of Swords on the side. So heartbreak. It's funny, we looked at this card the other day in our circle community, and we saw the back part of it where the swords all cross. And I thought that was very interesting. But the Three of Swords being that heartbreak card, right? That grief card. But can you hold grief and excitement at the same time? Can you hold the goodbye and the excitement for the new at the same time? All right, it's a dialectic. It's something that as humans we are not taught to do, at least not until we have to learn those things, right? I took a dialectic behavioral therapy, or I did a program for that to learn how to hold grief and happiness together at the same time, grief and gratitude, grief and love, because grief and love are two sides of the same coin. At the end of the day, right? They are two sides of the same coin. The amount of love that you had for a person will be directly proportionate to the amount of grief that you have when you lose that person. And it's just a thing. It's just not good or bad. It just is. And I think that's the sideways part, right? Remembering that things are dialectic. Things are just the way they are. And they're not good. They're not bad. They just are. Apparently my dogs agree. Girls, knock it off. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is the tower. I have to laugh. I can't not do anything but laugh with this tower, because Carrie got it twice in the Taurus reading. The tower and the upright, it's a shock, it's a surprise, it's something coming that you don't see coming, and by definition, if you don't see it coming, you can't prepare for it. The lighthouse has been struck by the lightning, the man-made light that is being torn down by the divine light. So just know that, ride the wave, right? Ride the wave. Know that you're going to be victorious. Prepare for this as best you can, right? We can. I don't know how we can prepare for something that's unexpected. Expect the unexpected, I guess. But now that my dogs are calm, and I'm not really sure what's happening outside to make them to be as rambunctious as they are, I'm going to go check that out. So you guys take care. We'll chat tomorrow.